Hello guys and welcome back to another video. So today I'm heading out with Jack, Paddy and Chris Jenkinson, and we're going to hit up some hills. We're meeting in Shalford in about 25 minutes, so I've got to go and get my kit on now. So the other day I messaged Chris Jenkinson and I said, you know what mate, he's one of the fastest people that I know up a climb, and I've got to do some VO2 work now we're coming into race season. So I said, you know what, let's go and smash some hills. Let's try and hold 400 watts for as long as we possibly can. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's see how we get on. I'm going to be mounting the GoPro once again onto the stem. Without further ado, I'll see you out on the road. So it's commentary Zach back once again. And I thought today I would just commentate over the first bit, but then just leave you with a compilation of footage and maybe be chiming in here and there, because really I didn't pick up the camera as much as I should have done in terms of off the bike. I had the GoPro, as you can see here, mounted on the front, but I should have been sort of, as I like to say, storytelling along the way, and it's something that I'm getting used to over time. But when you're doing a fast ride like this, the first thing on your mind is not to whip out your phone and start filming everyone at the top of the climb going, oh, how was that, blah blah blah. But as you can see, we're going up the first climb now. I didn't actually know it was a climb. It kind of went on for quite a while and kept going up and down. Pretty much just Chris and Paddy absolutely smashing it today. I think Paddy normalised 350 watts for 2 hours. My normalised was like 280, bearing in mind I'm like 63 kilos. That's over 4 watts per kilo for over 2 hours normalised, which, you know, it's not pro level, it's not amazing, but it's going some. And considering we're freewheeling down the other side of Wood Descents, I think I spent half an hour over threshold in a 2 hour ride, just like 350, 400 watts up every single climb, and it's properly mega. I mean, you can see the power overlay on there now, like, and this is on their wheel on quite a fast climb, so I'm getting a good draft here, going 35k an hour. And the pace didn't let up the whole climb, and as you can see from this clip that's about to come up, we're just pushing 500-600 watts at the crest of every single climb, because I think both the boys in front of me here are mountain bikers. Chris and Paddy's like an elite XC mountain biker, so they're very, very punchy, and this is the sort of climb that suits them, which I don't necessarily always like, which is really, really good to put myself out of my comfort zone. Being able to sit at VO2 and then just snapped up to like 600 watts for the last 30 seconds is a skill that not many people have, and it's a race-winning skill, being able to kick and really surge up. We can see Jack's interesting line choice around this corner. Jack was going really, really well as well, although at some point he did turn off because he wasn't quite feeling it today, but we were absolutely flying up all these climbs. And whilst we were riding, I knew we were going fast, but I didn't know the extent, you know. Obviously I've not got Strava out whilst I'm on the ride. Coming back, looking at the ride stats, I mean, I've put on screen here, this is the bottom of Bar Hatch. We got 24th up Bar Hatch, and we were only going probably in 85-90% effort up until, I don't know, the last 3 or 4 minutes. And it's like, I think it's like a 6.5-7 minute climb. So if we'd paced it faster, we could have even got top 20. I mean, you can see my heart rate's in the 150s, 160s. I know I'm sat on the wheel, but you know, it's not like we're full sending it until right at the end. And I think an important tip to be noted here is at some point Paddy opened a small gap to Chris. I think it's going to come up now, and I saw it happening in front of me, and I was like, you know what, I can't let this happen. You got to just snap up as soon as you see it happening. Snap up as fast as you can to close that wheel. Obviously not a maximal effort, but very, very hard, because you don't want to leave that gap to open any longer, and you've always got to rush the gap. But I thought I'd just let this clip play in a second, because you can see Chris is in the saddle. I'm doing more than 400 watts almost constantly, and he's just able to hold it and hold it and hold it to the point where I'm thinking, you know, my heart rate's going right up into the 180s, the highest it's been in a very long time. If you watch the Chain Gang video, you'll know I'm not used to my heart rate being up this high again. And my breathing is incredibly loud. Like, this is proper VO2 stuff. Like, I cannot inhale any more oxygen. And he's in the saddle, I'm doing 550 watts, and I've got like 5 to 10 kilos on him lighter, and he's just riding off my wheel. This is such an amazing feeling. It was a horrible feeling, but it's like, I need this. This is the best training stimulus, because there's no way I would have pushed myself, you know, up to 600 watts. There's no way I would have pushed myself this hard if I didn't have that sort of dangling carrot in front of me to really push deep. But all the while, I'm thinking, this is only the 2nd or 3rd climb out of 7 or 8 climbs planned on this route. Like, this is ridiculous that I'm going so hard, yet I'm going to have to spend another 20 or so minutes doing exactly the same thing. But I think that's sort of the idea. A lot of what Paddy was saying to me as we begin up Tanhurst now, which is a kind of side route up Leith Hill, which is equally as brutal as every other way up Leith Hill. But I think that's sort of the idea Paddy was saying to me. You know, in an XC race or in racing, people go 100% effort and they keep going 100% effort, and gradually the power comes down. But it's about training your body to be able to go to that maximal effort repeatedly. And yes, the power might come down, but it's like, can you fatigue less than other people? Whereas in training, a lot of the time, you'll hit 400 watts and you'll try and do 400 watts for 5 minutes, 5 times, consistently. Whereas this was basically just attack it from the first climb as hard as you possibly can, do the same thing every single subsequent climb, and just gradually die throughout the ride. And it's a horrible feeling, but it's such a good training stimulus. And you can see we just came around that sort of final hairpin up left to the final bit of Leith Hill now. And I thought we were just, I don't know, turning right or finishing the climb up there. Like, I was done. And all of a sudden, Paddy starts absolutely launching it at 70 RPM, and I think he was doing 580 watts, 600 watts for this entire stretch. So I'm leaving the clip playing, and you can see I'm not doing much less watts than that. And I am, at this point, like, this is the kind of moments where you're questioning your sanity. Like, I feel like I'm completely killing myself and emptying my soul right now. And I'm like, I'm just looking at that back wheel. I am not going to let that back wheel go. I am not going to let that back wheel go. He is not getting away from me. And I was like, here's the crest. Just dig in. Oh, it's so hard to describe what you're going through mentally in that moment. And then I get rolled by Chris. I was like, yes, I've rolled Paddy on a climb. And then Chris just comes past me. And again, it's that snap that he has at the end. And Chris is really good at it as well. Mentally, the finish line is not at the top of the climb. The finish line is 100 meters after the top of the climb. Because if you can differentiate yourself from other riders and being able to just click up those couple of gears and just keep the power on, that extra 20 seconds, that is what's going to get you the gap. That's what's going to win you the race, you know. You got to get back up to speed. And then we absolutely flew down the other side of Leith Hill at sort of 60k an hour plus, which is pretty fun. I don't know if the GoPro does it justice to the speed, but we were flying. I mean, you can probably see if you look closely enough, Chris is he was in his biggest gear. At this moment, my chain fell off and my back wheel locked up momentarily and kind of kicked out sideways, and it was so sketchy, which is why you can see me losing the gap now. What I did was the chain fell onto the outside, so I shifted into the small ring and then tried to start pedaling, and basically the front mech just pushed the chain back onto the chainring again. Throughout this ride, I made sure to stay fueled up because you go through so much more glycogen when you're pushing hard than you are at zone 2. Obviously, you're working so much harder. So I kept topped up with the Sorines. The only thing I wish is that they made those new flavours they've come out with in the big loaves, because I'm not a fan of having to keep opening these small plastic packages. It's inconvenient and it's just unnecessary plastic use. But we then flew back down the other side of every climb, so you can see going down Crocknorth now, and now down Coombe. Chris had some deep section wheels on his Cannondale, which wasn't ideal, but we flew down all the climbs nonetheless. And it's not something I often do, to be honest. I usually take it relatively cautiously on my own, because in my mind I'm just like, it's not worth crashing at 40 miles an hour and potentially dying, but most likely, I don't know, puncturing a lung, breaking a collarbone, breaking my leg. But you know what, every now and then you've got to trust yourself, you've got to have that confidence, and it is super fun descending fast. I mean, it is part of the reason why I enjoy riding my bike, being able to fly and feel like I'm on a motorbike, because really, without the gear and the helmet and the protection, it's almost more dangerous and feels just as fast. Anyway, I'm going off on a complete tangent now. I hope you enjoyed this style of video where I just commentate and sort of ramble over the footage. I don't intend on keeping it this way for all the videos in future, but I think occasionally, and I think on this one, maybe I can provide some insights. You know, I have been cycling for around 5 years now, so I've picked up hints and tricks along the way, and hopefully I can add some value to the commentary rather than just music over the top. But anyway guys, if you did enjoy the video, then be sure to leave it a like, leave a comment down below what you think of this style of video, what you want to see more from me in the future. Hit me up, DM me on Instagram for any kind of video ideas. Until next time, my name is Zach, and I'll see you next time.